Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
The dangerous heat continues for us as we head into today. Heat advisories for a large chunk of the country. I'll talk about when those head in our direction coming up.
And if you're headed to a gas station today, you will notice a big spike in prices. Kelsey Coffey will join us live to explain the reason behind this jump.
And in a few hours, fans will be able to meet some of their favorite celebrities at the GalaxyCon in Raleigh. We'll tell you how the ongoing strike in Hollywood, though, is impacting what the stars can talk about during that event. That is still going on. We're still talking about that strike, so we'll have more on GalaxyCon coming up. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. It's great to have you along here as we get our Thursday started together. Sun's up. It is hot. These are the dog days of summer. We're right in it. Anthony Baglione has found a nice place to rest, though.
Yes, I'm chilling here near the lake. Oh, it's so nice. I can feel the breeze. Yes, that's what we're going to be at today, guys. Is just hot and humid. If you can find the water, it's going to be a good plan to do so. It looks like a beautiful morning out there, though. Our Lake Gaston camera, you can see how still the water is. Yeah, pool, ice cream, popsicles, something to keep you cool today is going to be a very good idea. We're at 80 degrees in Raleigh, 80 in Durham, 73 there in Roxborough, but already temperatures like you see there close to 80, if not at 80, and we are still early this morning. Feels like values would always get us this time of year. That's where that you add in the measure of the moisture in the air plus that actual air temperature. And to me, that's the more important number. Where you walk outside, that's what you feel on your skin. 95 here at 11 o'clock this morning, feeling like 102 at 3 o'clock. That is just going to be a very hot afternoon, and we only go up from there here into tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday as well. We'll call it feeling like 102 today. Again, those actual air temperatures in the upper 90s. Yesterday, we hit 97 at RDU. That was the hottest of the entire year. We are only going to continue to go up. Maybe a stray sprinkle this afternoon, Brian, but looking at relatively minimal rain.
Anthony here at 8:02. I'm watching a couple of incidents here on our traffic map. Starting off with a crash reported at Bethlehem Road at Old Faison Road in the Knightdale area. Seeing some pretty heavy delays right now on that northbound side of Bethlehem Road approaching that intersection. Reportedly, that's a crash with injuries, so it may be a little while to get that one cleared up. We also have a crash on 40 westbound right around Hammond Road on the south side of Raleigh. It's on the ramp from 40 westbound down to Hammond Road. It's not affecting traffic on 40 westbound itself or on Hammond, but on that ramp, look out for some police activity. Taking a look at your major approaches into Raleigh right now, a 4-minute delay on southbound Capitol Boulevard coming in from Wake Forest. As you head in from Knightdale on 87 southbound around the Knightdale bypass, about a 4-minute slowdown, mostly around the Smithfield Road interchange. Once you get out toward 540, you're in pretty good shape heading back toward 440. And on US 1 northbound, leaving Apex, heading through Cary, picking up a 2-minute delay with some of the usual congestion right around 1010 Road. Also looking good this morning in Durham, a little bit of a backup on 885 southbound, the usual congestion right around the 147 merge. But by the time you get down to Ellis Road and TW Alexander Drive, traffic is moving along nicely.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Well, if you need to fill up your gas tank today, you'll notice gas prices are spiking. It's not just in Raleigh, it's across the state. And this week, we've seen jumps in prices that are the largest we've seen in over a year. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us now to show us where prices are this morning and the reason behind the spike. Kelsey, I filled up yesterday. I noticed those higher prices.
Yes, I noticed those higher prices too when I paid at the pump earlier this week. Here in North Carolina, gas prices have jumped 18 cents in the past week, according to AAA. We're at a gas station, a Shell in Raleigh on Six Forks Road, where gas is $3.49 a gallon. That's 1 cent below the state average that AAA released earlier this morning. Average gas prices nationwide have spiked 11 cents in the past 72 hours. Drivers haven't experienced anything like this since last June. Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says drivers should brace for even higher prices next month.
Hurricanes that target areas like Texas and Louisiana, that could cause prices to go up even more dramatically if there is a major hurricane that heads for those areas in August, which is really when the peak of hurricane season begins.
But there is some good news. DeHaan says that those prices should go down by October or November. Until then, you're just going to have to really find those bargains. All of this is a result of several issues like low supply, high demand, and refinery problems. So if you're looking to find the cheapest gas in your area, head on over to our website, WRAL.com, and search Fuel Tracker. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And new data released by AAA just a few hours ago shows the national average is 371. In North Carolina, it's 350, and in Raleigh, it's 351. That is up 16 cents in the last week.
A Sheetz store in Holly Springs is back open this morning after a bomb scare. Police arrested 50-year-old Norman Bray of Sneed's Ferry at the Sheetz on Avent Ferry Road last night. They say he was acting suspiciously, and then they found in his vehicle hazardous materials and what they thought was a bomb inside. Officers evacuated the store and blocked off the parking lot until Raleigh police and the SBI could get there with the proper equipment needed for this situation. You can see the SUV in the video here. It's burned out and the driver's side window smashed. Bray is facing charges including possession of a weapon of mass destruction. Also, Raleigh police are working to make an arrest after someone shot at a woman's car while she was driving on Rock Quarry Road. The woman was able to pull her car off the road into a Food Lion parking lot at Rock Quarry and Battle Bridge roads. She wasn't hurt. Investigators say someone had shot several times into her car, including one bullet that went right through her windshield.
Family and friends of a missing Moore County woman are demanding more information from the detectives that are looking for her. Dozens of people traveled on a bus from Moore County to Charlotte yesterday looking for answers about the disappearance of Alicia Watts. She was last seen on July 16th as she went to Charlotte with her boyfriend to see a comedy show. The boyfriend was found unresponsive in her SUV in Anson County 2 days later, but there was no signs of Watts. At a news conference in Charlotte yesterday, her loved ones say they feel authorities are leaving them in the dark.
Alicia, she's not just a missing person. She's an important person to all of us. She's a daughter. She's a sister. She's an aunt. She's a best friend. She's a business owner.
The Racial Justice Network helped organize yesterday's news conference. It says if Charlotte Mecklenburg police will not work with them, the group will start organizing search parties of its own.
New this morning, we're learning Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell recently fell at a D.C. airport days before yesterday's news conference freeze up. Sources tell NBC News McConnell fell July 14th as he was getting off a plane at Reagan National Airport. They say he was not seriously hurt and was seen at the Capitol later that day. There are reports McConnell has also recently been using a wheelchair as a precaution in crowded airports. Meanwhile, concerns are growing this morning after the 81-year-old froze while speaking Wednesday.
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
He was silent for 19 seconds after that, and some of his GOP colleagues then ushered him toward his office. McConnell returned to the podium a few minutes later to take more questions. He told reporters he was feeling fine. Earlier this year, McConnell sustained a concussion and a cracked rib after falling in Washington. He spent 6 weeks recovering from that.
This morning, the Wake Forest Fire Department is mourning the loss of one of its own. Firefighter Austin Smith died on Wednesday. He worked at the fire department since 2016. The department says he will be remembered for his dedication and work ethic.
People can find relief from the heat at some cooling stations set up around Wake County. The county's Health and Human Services centers and regional centers will be open today and tomorrow for that. They'll be open from 8:30 this morning, so coming up in about 20 minutes, you can go in there until 5:15 in the evening. Public libraries also will be open today through Sunday during normal business hours. You can take advantage of that AC.
Now, the U.S. women's march for a third straight World Cup hit a bit of a snag in their game against the Netherlands. The U.S. trailed the Netherlands 1-0 at halftime after giving up a goal early in the first half. Lindsey Horn got the Americans back in the game, though, with a second half goal to tie it at 1. That is how the game ended. The Americans will be looking to get a win or a draw against Portugal in the last group stage game to guarantee that they will advance to the next round. Portugal beat Vietnam 2-0 in a game earlier this morning. And that game against Portugal to wrap up the group stage is happening on Tuesday morning starting at 3 a.m. You can watch it live on Fox 50.
And they still control their own fate. That's a good thing. GalaxyCon gets started today in Raleigh, giving fans a chance to meet celebrities from TV and movies. Organizers say the ongoing strikes in Hollywood will change things just a bit this year, though. They say all the celebrities who have committed and have been advertised for this convention will still be appearing to sign autographs and take photos. They'll not be able to talk about their current projects, and other topics related to their work may also be off limits. Fans will also not be allowed to ask questions during panel discussions. GalaxyCon is happening today through Sunday at the Raleigh Convention Center.
Well, coming up, an Arizona woman who disappeared when she was 14 has been reunited with her family.
Anyone who has missing loved ones, I want you to use this case as an example that miracles do exist and never lose hope and always fight.
Where authorities found her 4 years after she left her home.
Well, the Barbie takeover is not over yet. Coming up, we'll tell you about the plans Mattel has for the holidays.
And certainly the heat is going nowhere as we head through the rest of today. We're looking at actual air temps in the upper 90s, feeling though like the 100s through the weekend. We'll talk about here if we have any rainfall on the way to help cool us off coming up after the break.
Welcome back on your warm Thursday morning. You are looking live at Pinehurst. You're watching WRAL News, available on Hulu and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. A good idea to get those games in early this morning because it is going to be a very hot day. You might want to go where Anthony is standing in front of right now. Great day for the beach, Anthony.
I'm thinking I need my sunglasses, some sunscreen, relaxing here. Yeah, we pulled up the Carolina Beach camera a second ago, and it is beautiful out there, but I'm also thinking it's going to be very, very popular here the next couple of days with people headed out to enjoy. I was just out there at Wrightsville Beach on Tuesday, and the water was just gorgeous, that crystal blue, and it felt refreshing. It was warmer than it has been, but definitely still refreshing here. So if you want to soak up some of that today, that's going to be good. Let's talk about where we sit right now across the country, because we are certainly not the only ones dealing with this heat, and it could be worse, right? We're talking those excessive heat warnings back towards St. Louis, feeling like 114. I don't have us getting that hot here into the weekend, but still, it's going to be dangerous heat. So please protect the pets, young children, anyone sensitive to that heat. Everyone should be keeping that in mind here as you're headed out today, just so you don't run into heat exhaustion, heat stress, things like that. Lots and lots of water and electrolytes, too, is going to be the name of the game for us today. 80 degrees is where we sit in Raleigh, 78 in Goldsboro. So you know it's going to be hot when we already see temperatures near 80, still relatively early on in the morning. We head for highs today at 97. We hit 97 yesterday. That was the hottest temperature at RDU all year long. I have us right about that today. We could hit maybe 98, but I think 97, 98 still pretty good bet for us today. Feels like temperatures 102 this afternoon, 107 into tomorrow, and 110 on Saturday. Above 105 would put us in heat advisory criteria. So we are likely going to be looking at multiple days of heat advisories through the weekend. So if you have plans, let's say on Saturday, rain chance-wise, it looks pretty minimal. Maybe just a quick storm there, 20% chance or so, but the heat is just going to be a big factor for any of those plans. So just keep that in mind here the next little while. Let's talk about where we sit here in the tropics. We have one area that we're watching right now. It has a 40% chance of development over the next 7 days. This is a look at where we could see a tropical depression form, the probability of that here going forward in time. A lot of the models do show a tropical depression forming. However, you do see that track where it keeps it off of the coast of the United States out to sea. So that is looking like the most likely, when we look at the statistics, the models, the most likely scenario, but of course can't rule out anything here with, of course, how warm that water is offshore. So we'll continue to watch that. It looks like that will stay offshore though. 98 for us tomorrow, 99 on Saturday. We're at 95 Sunday. Relatively minimal rain chances this weekend, maybe just a quick pop-up storm there Saturday night into Sunday, Brian, but looking pretty hot.
It is 8:16. We have a lot of crashes that have popped up here in the past couple of minutes, including a report of a hit-and-run investigation on 440 eastbound right around Western Boulevard. Not seeing huge delays at this point, just something to keep in mind out there. You could see some police activity on the side of the road. And a reminder about North Carolina's move-over law. When you do see those flashing lights of any kind on the side of the road, you need to move over at least one lane to give them some room to work safely. On the south side of Knightdale, watch for a crash at Bethlehem Road at Old Faison Road. Pretty heavy delays on that northbound side of Bethlehem Road approaching that intersection as you head back from the bridge over I-87. In Holly Springs, a minor crash reported in the past few minutes on Sunset Lake Road at Holly Springs Road. That is a busy intersection, so we could see some backups building in that area. Elsewhere around the Triangle, we're watching the traffic building on 540 westbound, seeing some delays now showing up around the Creedmoor Road area. But once you get to Leesville Road, it looks all right heading toward Glenwood Avenue and beyond. I-40 for the most part in good shape through Wake County, all clear through Garner. A little bit of congestion right around the Lake Wheeler Road area out toward Gorman Street. But once you hit US 1 heading out to Wade Avenue, you're in good shape. And in Durham, no crashes showing up right now, and major routes are looking good.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin is in Australia. This is brand new video into our newsroom of Secretary Austin arriving in Brisbane. He's there to participate in the annual meeting of U.S. and Australian defense and foreign ministers. Now, this trip will focus on how the two countries can find common ground and partner with like-minded allies on security and development and other international issues. This is all part of Austin's continued outreach to the Indo-Pacific region. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken is also on this trip.
Thanks, Ken. A grieving mother is weighing in on new charges filed against 4 teenagers police say are connected to shooting and killing her son. In February, 17-year-old Anthony Feaster was shot and killed near the American Tobacco Trail, not far from the Hillside High, where he was a student. WRAL learned about a number of charges, but none of the juveniles are facing a murder charge. Some of the charges include possession of a handgun by a minor, possession of a weapon on educational property, and robbery with a dangerous weapon. Durham police believe that he was with a group trying to rob another teenager. Feaster's mother calls it an unfortunate situation for all involved.
I pray for them all, and it has to be a better way. I hope that it's a lesson with all of this. You know, all of them are juveniles. They have a whole life to live. This is not the life.
She says some charges are better than nothing. Durham police say they don't anticipate any further charges at this point.
The Ohio police officer seen on video releasing a canine officer on an unarmed black man has been fired.
Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Don't. Do not.
That body camera video shows the incident from the 4th of July. Ex-officer Ryan Speakman's dog charged Jadarius Rose after he surrendered with his hands up. On Wednesday, the Circleville Police Department said Speakman did not meet the standards and expectations they hold for their officers. Rose was taken to a nearby hospital to be treated. He's charged with failure to comply after leading officers on a 30-minute highway chase.
Hunter Biden's legal situation is in limbo this morning after a judge rejected a plea deal on tax charges. Biden was set to plead guilty to 2 tax misdemeanors, with prosecutors agreeing to recommend probation. The deal would also resolve a federal firearms offense, but the judge said she had questions about the constitutionality of linking the gun charge to the plea deal. After a discussion, Biden entered a not guilty plea instead. The judge gave attorneys 30 days to file additional legal briefs defending the plea deal.
An Arizona teen has been found after running away from home 4 years ago. Officials say Alicia Navarro was reported missing by her family in 2019, and she's been found safe now. They say that she was found in a Montana town near the Canadian border and has been reunited with her family. Alicia stopped by a local police department in that area alone and identified herself. Police in Arizona will continue to investigate the circumstances surrounding her disappearance. It's still unclear where she was or who she was with. Changes are coming to Wake Brook Behavioral Health Facility. UNC Health is ending services it provides to the facility, which the county owns. UNC Health has been providing care at the facility for 10 years. Right now, Wake County is trying to find another provider, while UNC Health looks to find new employment for those workers.
So we do anticipate there will be gaps between when UNC leaves and the new provider starts, but we're going to do everything we can to mitigate that and to keep that as short as possible.
And UNC Health tells WRAL it is working diligently to find new positions for these valued employees within the UNC Health system. Some Wake Brook employees will transition to positions at UNC Health Rex in Raleigh and UNC Medical Center in Chapel Hill.
Well, social media is filled with reaction this morning from around the world after the death of Sinead O'Connor. Musicians, actors, and so many more people are sharing their grief. Jamie Lee Curtis shared a story about time that she spent with O'Connor in Ireland, saying she loved her. She loved her music and her life. Bryan Adams was also among the many stars who shared memories of their time with her.
Such a powerful voice.
Yeah.
Not everyone is experiencing the heat like we are. People in Germany were surprised with snow during summer. An unexpected 5 inches of snow fell in southern Germany. Temperatures fell below freezing, turning rain into snow at the summit of a mountain there. Tourists visiting the area were shocked by that sudden change in weather. I guess you would be. Wow. After the success of the Barbie movie, Mattel plans to go all in on Christmas this year. The company has locked in more than 165 partnerships with brands and retailers. The Barbie movie scored the largest opening weekend of 2023. Mattel already released a new collection of toys tied to the movie back on June 1st. The initial movie-related products sold out, but the company plans to release more products in time for the holidays. They better hurry.
It's a Barbie world.
Yeah.
All right, well, coming up, concerns are being raised about how much the U.S. government knows about UFOs. In our next half hour, what expert witnesses told Congress.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good Thursday morning. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. Get ready for another very hot day. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione tracking all the hot temperatures. Heat indexes reaching the triple digits, Anthony.
Yeah, yesterday the actual air temperature hit 97, and today we're going to be right about that, but feels like temperatures in the low 100s. We're already starting to see just a little bit of a feels like temperature value right now, meaning that the actual air temperature is just a touch cooler here. We're at 84 is what it feels like in Raleigh, 77 in Clinton, 77 in Goldsboro is what it feels like here right now. There's where we are headed, though. 102 is likely where it will top out today. Some spots could maybe be up to about 103, 104. Definitely going to be a hot and humid afternoon, so make sure to have lots of water today, Brian.
It is 8:27 right now. We're watching a couple of crashes causing some delays. First of all, on the south side of Knightdale, watch for a crash at Bethlehem Road at Old Faison Road. We're starting to see some delays in both directions of that intersection, but especially on that northbound side of Bethlehem Road, we're seeing some pretty heavy delays heading up from I-87. Also getting reports of a minor crash on 40 westbound right around the Gorman Street area, and right now sensors are indicating an 8-minute delay on 40 westbound there in South Raleigh, beginning around the South Saunders Street interchange, extending out to Gorman Street.
All right, thank you, Brian. A Sheetz store in Holly Springs is back open this morning after a bomb scare. Police arrested 50-year-old Norman Bray of Sneed's Ferry at the Sheetz on Avon Ferry Road last night. They say he was acting suspiciously, and when they found his vehicle, it had a suspected bomb inside. Next on Fox 50, why we're seeing a big spike in those gas prices again this morning. And then up next on Today, a block party live on the plaza.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
We continue to track the heat and humidity for us today, not going anywhere into the weekend. I'll talk about just how warm it will feel coming up.
More legal trouble could be ahead for former President Donald Trump. Straight ahead, the indictment that could be handed down as early as today.
The average price of gas in North Carolina has jumped 18 cents in just 1 week. Coming up, I'll explain what's behind the spike and how we could see even higher prices at the pump next month.
8:30 the time right now on your Thursday. We got the gas prices jumping, the temperatures are jumping, this whole joint is jumping, you know.
Everything's jumping
we
this morning.
yeah, everything you need to know to get your Thursday started right here. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yeah, I said to Kelsey before, you know, in her live shot, I said, I filled up yesterday and I noticed those prices, they are going up again. So here we go again. We'll talk about that. But yeah, we got to get over to weather first because yesterday we got to almost 100 degrees.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing again today. Some dangerous heat out there. You really have to be careful, Anthony.
Yeah, certainly. And I'm thinking our electric bills are probably going to be going up here for us today in the next couple of days into the weekend with just how hot and humid it is going to be. Dangerous heat, like you said. So please make sure if you're headed out, let's say you work outside, things like that, have lots of water, and especially I think the electrolytes too, going to be a good bet. Some Gatorade, something like that to remember today. We're at 80 here is where we sit in Raleigh, 78 in Goldsboro. So temperatures already on the warm side. There's a little bit of a heat index factor. It feels like about 84 right now in Raleigh when you factor in that humidity. 77 there in Goldsboro, where you see actually the heat index value a little bit cooler than the temperature there in Goldsboro. Not necessarily seeing the humidity factored in quite yet for us, so it's feeling relatively about the same. There's where we head through today, though. 102 is what it should feel like here around the triangle at about 3 o'clock, 102 at 5. Some spots could even just get a couple degrees warmer than that, but again, 102 versus, let's say, 104, it's going to be a relatively negligible difference today. We head into the weekend, look at those actual air temperatures, 99 as we head into Saturday, 95 on Sunday. Certainly, guys, going to be a good couple of days to just have tons of water handy and remember that heat. We'll talk about, though, when we finally may see a break from that coming up here in just a few minutes.
As you head out this morning, you may notice higher numbers at the gas pumps. It's because we are seeing the highest price spike since last June. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us this morning to let us know if the prices are expected to climb any higher.
Over the past 3 days, we've seen the biggest overnight price jumps in over a year. We're at a Shell station on Six Forks Road in Raleigh where gas is $3.49 a gallon. That's right around the state average that AAA released earlier this morning at $3.50 a gallon. Average gas prices nationwide have spiked 11 cents in the past 72 hours. Drivers haven't experienced anything like this since last June.
Add all of that up. Rising oil prices, refinery issues, high demand, and low supply. And that's why gas prices are suddenly starting to take back off.
That was Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy. He says that we should brace for even higher prices come August as we're getting into the thick of hurricane season. He says if oil refineries in places like Texas and Louisiana are hit by hurricanes, that could impact our supply and lead to higher prices again. If you're looking for the cheapest gas prices in your area, go to our website, WRAL.com, and search Fuel Tracker. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Add some new numbers to this as well, released by AAA around 4 this morning. It shows the national average 371, North Carolina 350, Raleigh's 351, so close to the North Carolina average, but it's up 16 cents from last week.
A sheet store in Holly Springs is back open this morning after a bomb scare. Police arrested 50-year-old Norman Bray of Sneed's Ferry at the Sheets on Avon Ferry Road last night. They say he was acting suspiciously, and when they found his vehicle, it had hazardous materials and a suspected bomb inside. Officers evacuated the store and blocked off the parking lot until Raleigh police and the SBI could get there with the proper equipment needed for that situation. You can see that SUV in this video here burned out with the driver's side window smashed. Bray is facing charges including possession of weapon of mass destruction. Raleigh police are working to make an arrest after someone shot at a woman's car while she was driving on Rock Quarry Road. The woman was able to pull her car into a Food Lion parking lot at Rock Quarry and Battle Bridge Roads. She was not hurt. Investigators say someone had shot several times into her car, including a bullet that went right through her windshield.
Well, happening now in the WRAL Live Center, a warning from Zebulon Police about this flyer that may show up in your inbox or on your social media page. According to Zebulon Police, this Summerfest is not a legitimate event. If you've paid to be part of this Summerfest, Zebulon Police want to hear from you. Again, look at this flyer. Supposedly, it's supposed to happen at August 5th and 6th, 19th and 20th at Whitley Park, which is a legitimate park in Zebulon. But again, Zebulon Police say this is not a legitimate event. You look closely, the word August is misspelled on this flyer. Supposedly food and drinks and music will be available. My colleague Jeff Hogan sent a message to this vendor, event99 at gmail.com. He did receive a message back asking him what kind of products that he was selling. But again, Zebulon Police say this Summerfest event, if it shows up in your inbox or social media, it is not a legitimate event. And if you pay to be part of Summerfest, you need to get a hold of Zebulon Police.
I did ask him about vendor space where I could sell some T-shirts, so I'm waiting to hear back from that. We'll figure this out. There is a new indictment that could be handed to former President Donald Trump as early as today. This morning, his legal team is preparing for its next steps, and it comes after a target letter more than a week ago and reports that a grand jury is scheduled to meet today. As of right now, there's no official word from the Department of Justice. Trump claims he is the victim of prosecutorial misconduct and an effort by the Department of Justice to interfere in the 2024 election.
Soldiers in the African country of Niger say they have ousted the country's president. In a televised statement, the group says it's removed President Mohamed Bazoum from power. They've also closed the country's borders and imposed a curfew. Hundreds of protesters gathered in the streets outside the capital. The president's official Twitter account said that he and his family are safe. Green Berets and Rangers from Fort Liberty are in Niger. The U.S. Embassy says the situation remains calm at the moment. And people can find relief from the heat here at home at cooling stations in Wake County. The county's health and human services centers and regional centers will be open today and tomorrow. They'll be open from 8:30 this morning until 5:15. Public libraries will also be open today through Sunday during normal business hours. And the U.S. Women's March for a third straight World Cup hit a bit of a snag in their game against the Netherlands. The U.S. trailed the Netherlands 1-0 at halftime after giving up a goal early in the first half. Lindsey Horan got the Americans back in the game, though, with a second-half goal to tie it at 1. That is how the game ended. The Americans will be looking to get a win or a draw against Portugal in the last group stage game to guarantee they'll advance to the next round. Portugal beat Vietnam 2-0 in a game earlier this morning. And that game against Portugal to wrap up the group stage, it's happening Tuesday morning. That starts at 3 a.m. You can watch it live on Fox 50.
The truth is out there, and Congress seems determined to find out just what it is.
American people deserve to know what is happening in our skies.
Coming up, why experts say these unidentified objects could pose a threat to national security.
And a 93-year-old is not letting his age define him. Coming up, we'll show you the journey that he took with his son that landed them at the top of Yosemite's Half Dome.
And at 8:38, we take a live look right now. Clinton, good morning to you. The heat is here to stay. We will check in with meteorologist Anthony Baglione after the break. .42 is the time right now on our Thursday morning. What a gorgeous look, Carolina Beach. That phenomenon down there, that beautiful clear water, it's like Caribbean. It is gorgeous. And maybe one of the only places where you can get a little break from all this heat. Anthony Baglione is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. We were the hottest day yesterday, Anthony. We might be able to say the same after today.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very similar for us. We hit 97 at RDU yesterday, and today I have us once again at 97, if not a degree or two above that, but certainly going to be a very good day to be at the beach. I was just there on Tuesday, and sure enough, yeah, that water is just gorgeous, tropical looking out there. A good day to head outside. We're going to be at 97 this afternoon, 98 tomorrow, 99 on Saturday. You see that climb here into the weekend. What really gets us, though, this time of year are those feels-like temperatures. We're going to start off today at 102 and then continue to climb here. Saturday feeling like 110. That is definitely going to be dangerous heat. The car just certainly heats up very, very fast. So just remember that as you're headed out here the next couple of days. We're not the only ones dealing with this heat, too. You head back toward the Great Plains, even up toward St. Louis, Chicago, where you see that purple showing up right there. That is an excessive heat warning, meaning above 110 is what it feels like. St. Louis is feeling like 114 today. All of that heat is going to continue to migrate closer to us, at least that potential for heat advisories. I don't see us, thankfully, hitting that excessive heat warning criteria. That would just be above 110, but still, it's going to be hot. We're at 84 is what it feels like right now in Raleigh, 84 in Durham, feeling like 79 there in Clinton, 77 in Goldsboro. So at the moment, yes, it is warm. It doesn't feel too bad, but that's going to change here this afternoon. There is where we are headed, 102 by 3 o'clock. By the time we head to even 7 o'clock this evening, still feeling like 97. So if you can get that morning walk in, take the dog out earlier rather than later, or wait and let's say after about 8 to 9 o'clock this evening. We only go up into the weekend. 99 for us on Saturday, 95 Sunday. We may see an isolated shower or storm both days. It looks like a potentially better chance would be into the overnight period, Saturday night into Sunday, and then Sunday night into Monday. But it is by no means going to be a big rainmaker for us. Only about a 20-30% chance the next couple of days, so no big relief from that heat. Let's talk about the tropics here. So we have one area that we're watching, 40% chance of development over the next 7 days. It's a wave that has pushed off the coast of Africa. There is the center of it right about there. Doesn't look organized at this point, but that orange color contour is where it is moving into and where the hurricane center sees the potential for maybe it to form a tropical depression into this weekend and early next week. So we will continue to watch that. Otherwise, no major systems in the tropics. Here's where we are headed, though, over the next 7 days. So certainly the first half going to be very hot. 98 tomorrow, 99 on Saturday. We're at 95 on Sunday. Once we get into next week, though, there's a little bit of relief. We're at 80s. That'll feel nice on Tuesday, guys. A little bit more refreshing. 90 on Wednesday, and just isolated storm chances here in the forecast, but really minimal here at best going forward.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Well, this morning, new questions about how much the government knows and may be hiding about UFOs. Former military and intelligence personnel answered questions from lawmakers yesterday. A whistleblower claimed the government has been withholding information about what they call unidentified aerial phenomena for decades. 2 former military and 1 former intelligence officer testified, saying that these sightings need to be taken more seriously because they could be a threat to national security.
If UAP are foreign drones, it is an urgent national security problem. If it is something else, it is an issue for science. In either case, unidentified objects are concerned for flight safety.
Lawmakers who pushed for the hearing are calling for the government to be more forthcoming about the unidentified anomalous phenomena.
We've learned that 3 Camp Lejeune Marines who were found dead inside a vehicle died of carbon monoxide poisoning. That's according to the North Carolina Medical Examiner. 19-year-old Lance Corporal Tanner Kaltenberg, 23-year-old Lance Corporal Mirax Dockery, and 23-year-old Lance Corporal Ivan Garcia were found dead inside a car outside of a Speedway gas station that was in Hampstead early Sunday morning. One of their mothers called 911 to report him missing after she said he never arrived on his flight to Oklahoma the night before.
And some Wake County residents are concerned that they won't be able to pay their property taxes on their homes after last month's increase. Currently, Wake County has 3 different programs to help with property taxes. They include senior and disabled, tax deferment, and disabled veterans programs. Thousands of people received help last year, and for those who don't qualify, Wake County has found a way to offer assistance with other homeowner expenses.
We've put in a number of programs that help people with their utility bills. They can help first-time home buyers by providing low-interest loans. They can help seniors in particular, but really anybody, make improvements or repairs that are necessary repairs to their homes.
If you are interested in applying for assistance, you can do so through the Wake County government website.
You know, there's a national day for just about every food out there, but the National Chicken Wing Day celebration this Saturday includes some great deals from restaurants and grocery stores. WRAL Smart Shopper Faye Prosser is here with details. If there's a National Food Day, Faye, you're going to find it. Get us the best promotions out there. And these are the ones for folks who love chicken wings, right?
Absolutely, and there are some tasty ones. So you will find that Zaxby's is offering reward members 10 free traditional wings when they buy 10 wings on Friday, July 28th and Saturday, July 29th when you order ahead through the app or online. And at Wings Over, they are offering 6 free wings with any online purchase of $10 or more when you use the code WINGDAY23 at checkout on Saturday, the 29th. And Hooters will give you 10 free wings of any style with the purchase of 10 wings on Saturday for dine-in only. Plus, Aldi has Purdue family pack of chicken wings, only $1.99 a pound through August the 1st. You can see a long list of the deals, including a number of others, over on the Smart Shopper column. And keep in mind, these offers are only valid at participating locations.
All right, so we see the change there, and we see some of the grocery stores as well. But some grocery deals are still out there as well this week. Share those with us.
Absolutely. So you will find that corn is 3 for $1 over at Food Lion. Haas avocados only 55 cents each at Aldi. Cherries, a fantastic price, $1.99 a pound at both Aldi and Publix. And Smithfield Boston Butt pork roast only 97 cents a pound for EVIC members at Harris Teeter through Sunday. Whole Boston butt pork is only 99 cents a pound at Food Lion. And boneless chicken breast, another great price, $1.99 a pound over at Lidl. You'll find 80% lean ground chuck if burgers are your thing, $2.99 a pound at Harris Teeter. And finally, Harris Teeter sliced cheese, buy 2, get 2 free. Top those burgers with it, makes them only $1.50 each. Regular price $2.99. You can find all of the grocery store top deals over on my Smart Shopper column.
Hot chicken wings, spicy, maybe a cold slice of watermelon these hot days out here. For more smart shopping tips from Faye, you can go to WRAL.com, look for the consumer tab and search Smart Shopper. Thanks, Faye.
Thanks, Jeff.
Making me hungry over there. All right, well, 600,000 more North Carolinians are in line to have access to Medicaid starting October 1st, so long as a budget is in place soon. The Department of Health and Human Services says that federal officials have agreed to let the state get started on some steps toward that goal while the state waits for the final approval. When state lawmakers approved Medicaid expansion earlier this year, they tied it to the budget, so it can't happen until the budget becomes law. But House and Senate leaders still cannot agree on what the final budget should look like. DHHS Secretary Cody Kinsley says the steps they're taking should allow the October 1st start date if lawmakers and Governor Cooper can agree on a budget by the end of August.
Morning, everybody. Pat Welter here with Casey Hintz at ACC Kickoff in Charlotte. And Casey, UNC football set to talk to us today. So is a new-look NC State team.
Yeah, Pat, there's going to be a lot of new on both sides of the ball, but it all starts with that new offense under first-year offensive coordinator Robert Anae. Remember, he's bringing one of his guys with him, former Virginia quarterback Brennan Armstrong. Now, Dave Doran's group went 8-5 last season, but as he likes to remind us, that is with 4 different quarterbacks. So the Pack looking for some consistency under center.
Definitely consistency for UNC at the quarterback position with Drake May back. He's a Heisman frontrunner, could be a top 5 pick in next year's NFL draft. And Mac Brown has been recruiting really well since his return to Chapel Hill. A lot of people waiting for them to take that next step. This could be the year. So we're going to hear from both teams today. We'll have reports this afternoon and evening on WRAL. We'll send it back to you guys in Raleigh.
And we now know who will be under center when the Carolina Panthers get their season started. Coach Frank Reich says rookie Bryce Young will be the team's starting quarterback for Game 1. He made the announcement yesterday as the Panthers met for the first day of training camp. The regular season gets started September 10th in Atlanta.
A New England family had a great fishing trip. They got video of 3 whales breaching the surface simultaneously. Check it out. The crew is celebrating their dad's birthday off the coast of Cape Cod. Look at this. That's incredible.
Wow.
They're off the coast of Cape Cod. The group was just stunned when they saw all 3 of these whales just breaching the surface, up in the air all at the same time, crashing down. The dad said he's been fishing his entire life and had never seen anything quite like that.
That's like something out of a movie.
I don't know who has seen it.
Who planned that?
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, climbing Yosemite's 8,800-foot tall half dome could be a challenge at any age, but a California man pulled it off at 93 years old. Everett Callan reached the summit last week with the support of his son and other hikers. He says he skydived at 91, so he was looking for a new challenge. His training included climbing the 16 floors of his apartment building.
Slowly but surely, we got closer to the top. And, finally I saw where the cable was locked into the rock, solid as possible. And I thought, my gosh, we're here. And that was just super.
Oh, it's incredible. It took the family 13 hours to reach the top, worth every hour. The retired theology professor says that he's open to suggestions for his next adventure. Jeff, what do you got? I mean, he's skydived, he's climbed Yosemite. I mean, man, maybe Everest next.
Keep moving or you'll stop, you know?
Right?
I mean, I think that's fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
Great way. Never too old.
No,
to
never.
try new adventures.
Never.
Good for him. Before we head to break, here is the winning lottery numbers. We will get another check on weather and traffic also coming up next.